Hi everyone, this is your host J.R. Michael with another episode of Make That Bloody Movie with Coffee. And in today's episode, we're going to talk about what's not cool for a filmmaker to say in 2019. Well, ladies and gentlemen, in 2019, a lot of filmmakers say a lot of stupid things throughout their career. Sometimes they think they're saying the right thing, but they're not. Usually what they're saying doesn't make any sense, or they're just saying something that somebody else says. One of the things that I've learned throughout the years of being an independent filmmaker is that it's better to listen than speak. You know, a lot of filmmakers like to talk about what they've done, what they can do, what they should do, what they're going to do. And many times, you know, in this career, in this business, you have to really pay attention more than to open your mouth. So in today's episode, I'll be talking about one of the ways not to be cool in this business and saying the wrong things that could screw your career or your project. So let's jump right into it. Want to know what's not cool to say in 2019 as an independent filmmaker? Well, you ever heard of a filmmaker or have ever seen or watched a filmmaker say silly crap like, "It's my first feature. I don't care about the money. I just want the exposure"? Come on now. That's the most stupidest thing any film to say. You know, if you ever heard another filmmaker say something like this, or if you are tempted yourself to say something like this, just don't. Don't be that filmmaker that makes the mistake and say that statement that it's my first feature and I don't care about the money. I just want the exposure. Ladies and gentlemen, we're in the business to make films. We're in the business for our creative ideas and stories to come alive, but also based on our results and our effort, we would like to be compensated for it. You know, I know that sounds kind of shallow and egotistical, but the reality of it is, at the end of the day, filmmaking is a business. I mean, if you're just doing it for a hobby, that's fine, if that's your thing. But in 2019, moving on, since the industry has changed and has made it easier for you as a filmmaker to get out there and get yourself known and start a career, you got to treat your product, your film, which is a product, seriously, and understand that the end result is to make money. So moving right along, I just wanted to say that saying stuff like this is also the fastest way to devalue your product and to devalue you as a filmmaker. So never, ever, ever, ever say, "This is my first feature and I don't care about money. I just want the exposure." That's a wrong move. Always believe in yourself and what you're doing. Believe in what you're trying to accomplish. Believe that from the beginning stages of the foundation of your film that you know this film is going to be a hit. You know, many times we see crappy films have made filmmakers successful. You ever thought about that or ever wonder why? It was because they believed in their project and they knew their project was gold from the moment they start. So just keep that in mind. Another example I could give you why it's not a cool thing to say a statement like that is my first feature and I don't care about the money. I just want the exposure. Think of it like this. Pretend this is real estate, and instead of making a film, you just produced a 100-unit apartment complex. Would you ever just give that away for exposure or just for the hell of it? No, you wouldn't. Obviously not. That would be silly. So why is this so normal for filmmakers to say, "I don't care about the money, I just want the exposure"? It's because bottom-feeding film distributors continue to perpetrate this stupid myth. So a lot of distributors will tell these filmmakers, "Who cares? Just do it for the exposure, do it for the notoriety, do it for the attention." But the reality of it is you could still do that, but you still got to promote your film, market it, and get it out there. So don't take that route and say, "I don't care about the money." We all care about the money at the end of the day when we make our film, because that's the icing on the cake. So moving forward, I just wanted to say this, is that if you ever thought that making a film was going to be easy, you're wrong. If you ever thought that, you know, this career was going to happen overnight, you're wrong. You know, so looking at this industry and looking at this field, that is one of the worst thing any filmmaker could say to another filmmaker or just to somebody in general that I'm just making this film. I don't care about the money. I just want the exposure. So please never say something like that moving forward in your career. And to really succeed in this business, what it really comes down to is understanding your audience, understanding your niche, the genre that you're making your film in, and really doing the research in the beginning. And that's why films take a long time to be made, because it's a lot of planning in the beginning, getting all the foundations and the groundwork up front, pretty much what your story is about, making sure the story is correct, everything is edited, making sure that all your pieces are in place, and also who's your target audience for the film. Once you narrow it down to that, I think, and you start to create a roadmap, it becomes a lot easier to make your film. So, if you have a real plan for promotion and distribution, guarantee you'll save yourself a lot of headache and a lot of time in the end when you make your film. And you definitely will never say, this is my first feature and I don't care about the money, I just want the exposure. So the game plan is, if you're doing a suspense, research other suspense film, your story, what is it about, target those audience, because those audience that like those suspense film, they'll love your film. And if they don't, it's okay. The point is, it's better to get it done than not to do it. So I'm signing off now, but I just wanted to say to everybody out there, make that bloody movie with coffee. The coffee of the day is Dunkin' Donuts, light and sweet French vanilla for the night. That's what I'm working with. Didn't tell you in the beginning what I was working with. Just thought I'd save it for you at the end of this podcast. But I just wanted to share that with you guys while I was researching and looking into how to be an independent filmmaker in 2019 and what are the worst things a filmmaker could say. Pretty much that one-liner, that this is my first feature, I don't care about the money, I just want the exposure. So never say that, because it devalues you as a person, as a filmmaker, and it devalues the product and the script that you're trying to produce or getting out there. So leave that out of your sentence, out of your your pitch or your promotion or whatever you're saying, or whoever you're talking to. Do not say that line. So moving forward, remember, if you have market research, you have a strategy plan on promoting your film, you have a good distribution idea of who to approach for distribution, then you're on the right path of success, and you're on the right path of making money with your film. And keep in mind, you don't have to make $1 million with your film. If you make $5,000 with your, off your film, $10,000 off your film, $20,000 off your film, depending on what you use to spend on your film, at the end of the day, you always try to make back the money you put into your production, of course. But I always believe that, I've seen guys make zombie crappy films and they've made like 20-30 grand off of it. So it's one of those things where you just got to be optimistic, positive, believe in yourself, believe in your project, believe in what you're doing, and success is right around the corner. So again, everybody, thank you for joining me with Make That Bloody Movie with Coffee. In today's episode, the worst thing a filmmaker could say. All right, everyone, I'm out of here. Peace, love, and happiness.